I was kind of just like before he proposed to me during the pandemic, I felt like kind of annoyed because he didn't even bring it up to me before. And
Mm.
he like went to talk to my parents and asked for permission. And they said yes because they love him. And I just felt like so out of the loop that like this wasn't discussed seriously before. And so like I think that's part of like maybe why I'm feeling this like reluctance and hesitance, because like I feel like I wasn't like in the loop about this at all.
Yeah. You feel like your your just like your thoughts and your feelings weren't taking into consideration.
Yeah. It wasn't even like I wasn't even like checked in with, it wasn't even like, hey, I really love you. I've been thinking more about our future together. There was no conversation like that before. I was just like so shocked.
Right. And could you tell me a little bit more about just what, where a little bit about your background,
Yeah.
where you grew up, perhaps how, yeah, where you grew up, your social support now. Also, do you live with, do you live together?
Yeah. So I grew up in San Francisco, and like my parents are still here. And I met my boyfriend through like mutual friends. As soon as I like graduated from college, I met him through mutual friends. Um, we've been dating a couple years. We're not living together. So he like has his own space, which is really nice, and I have my own space. Um, and I think that's also part of the fear that like he's proposed to me and we don't even know what it's like to live together. And I think I'm that type of person that would want to like experience living with someone before agreeing to marry them, you
Mhm.
know? So um that's a bit of background about me. In terms of social support, like I think before the pandemic, I felt like I had like a good group of friends, and then a lot of people moved, um, like with lockdown, and now I just find myself like really lonely, and um, I will like literally make up excuses not to see my fiance like on the weekend, like say I'm busy with work or say I'm not feeling well. Like I will do anything to just like not be around him, um, and then I'm just kind of like sad and alone in my apartment. So basically, social support is like very much lacking for me.
Yeah. It um yeah, it must yeah, it sounds like um you know the pandemic is such a huge factor for for, it sounds like, for even like um enhancing, or the pandemic, um it sounds like the pandemic could be a factor in kind of enhancing, bringing up like the intensity of like this like situation, it sounds, and it looks like it has affected um your social support. It's something that has been so disruptive in so um many people's lives, and and yeah, I think those, as a matter of fact, I think I read a research article the other day on how there's been an increase of just a lot of, relational challenges since the pandemic, has been occurring. And so just want to reassure that there that this is pretty a common thing right now, where there's a lot of ambiguity and feelings of uncertainty of major, decisions collectively,
Yeah.
because we're also kind of stuck right now in the middle of this global pandemic, and it could be kind of hard imagining a future even, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that feels right. Like in terms of the pandemic, just kind of hitting me, like in talking about myself, like hitting me in my life, and like that disruption is so real. Yeah.
yeah, and so in the past, because I know we haven't gone through a pandemic before in our lifetime, right? I'm curious, what's something that's worked for you, um, when you've felt lonely in a situation. What has worked for you in the past, if you can remember, or
Um, when I feel lonely, I feel like what's helped me is like watching comedy.
Mhm.
So like I'll watch stand-up comedy, that will like make me laugh and feel a bit less alone.
Right, yeah.
Um, and then like sometimes I'll call my mom. I'm pretty close with her. Um, but I would never talk to her about this topic because she would judge me so hard.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but I do like if I am lonely, yeah, sometimes I'll call her, just see how she's doing. Because she can talk on and on. Like I could be on the phone with her for 30 minutes and she's the one talking like for the most of it, you know. So I guess those are like a couple things that I've done that helps me when I'm lonely. Um, but yeah.
Yeah. What kind of, if you don't mind me, what kind of stand-up comedies do you like?
I like I really like on Netflix, um Ali Wong. She's really funny.
Hmm. Yeah.
um
Yeah.
who else? I like that one guy from Silicon Valley, the Jimmy O Yang.
Nice,
I
nice.
think he's pretty funny. But yeah, sometimes I'll just like watch random people. Like I don't even remember their names, but like random people in Netflix. Yeah.
Right. There's a saying that goes, don't take life too seriously. None of us make it out alive anyway.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Laughter is medicine for all and everything, I would say. So
Mhm.
it sounds like it sounds like, you have, some tools already to help um when you're feeling lonely. Um and you mentioned that you feel like you can't share this with your mother because you feel like she would judge you very hard. um
Mhm.
could could we explore that a little bit more, if that's okay with you now? If not, we can check in about it later, or not at all. Just would like to invite you to, yeah, to share.
Yeah, I appreciate you like giving me a choice there, and not pressuring me to talk about it if I don't want to. So thank you. I can talk about it. It's fine. I'm sorry, my cat is like trying to knock down books. I'm just gonna take him out of the room. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just a little rascal. um, But my mom, I guess when I said like judgmental, I think what I meant was that she doesn't like when it's the small things she understands. So for example, like if I'm pissed about like um my delivery food being wrong, she's like, yeah, that would make me mad. Like she can empathize or she'll like understand. But if it's like the bigger items, she will judge and she won't understand. So like like this example of if I were to go to her and say I'm having second guesses about my engagement, um, I like don't even know what her response would be. I know that it would be judgmental though. I know that she would look down on me and probably like tell me to just be grateful that I found someone. Um, so yeah, does that is that enough information there?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Um, um, and may I ask, where is your family from?
From San Francisco. So both my parents are here. Yeah.
Okay. And um, is I think in your I'm not sure if we're supposed to do this, but I'm gonna ask like in your like intake, you mentioned that you were married with someone from a different culture or something,
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
right?
Yeah.
Right. We're just gonna okay. So from from your intake assessment, I read, that you um were, you're engaged with you're engaged with uh no, that your current partner is from a different um culture or ethnic background.
Yeah.
um uh could you share a little bit more about that, and yeah, and how yeah, could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I did put that in the intake form. So I'm Chinese American, and so are my
Mhm.
parents. Um, and my boyfriend is, I guess he's not my boyfriend anymore, my
Right.
fiance. Um, he is white, and his family, I mean, from what I've noticed, like they just don't really talk about these, like they don't really talk about me being different, which I appreciate because I don't want to be like standing out. But at the same time, I just feel like there's like no interest, even like to learn about like me, or for example, my parents immigrating over here, like I feel like there's so much that they're missing out, because there's no like curiosity in that sense. And so sometimes I feel like I can't even talk about these topics of like my identity or my race or cultural things, because I just, it's not that I've gotten shut down, but it's more that I felt like he and his family just aren't even interested to know, like there are no questions.
Right. um and um you know I can see, um or how could I phrase this, you know cul- cultural identities, different cultural identities and groups tend to, influence a lot of, um,